Alright, so we just had Oceanic's Ultimate Cup over the weekend here in Australia. It was a webcam event, and I just want to talk about 3 different things today. I want to talk about the top 16 decks that we saw, like each individual one. I want to talk about the top 8 decks and break down each list for you. And then for the third thing, I just want to talk about the broader top 32, have a quick little gander at, what a lot of the decks are looking like at the moment, just so that you have a better understanding of it's not just Mirage, for example, and there's other decks out there to play. Without further ado, let's just get straight into the pie chart. I really quickly just want to give a shout out to TAC for not only hosting the event, but also saving my fucking ass, which I'll explain a little bit later. But for hosting this event, the Ultimate Cup, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I also want to shout out Nicholas Slack for making this pie chart. He does so much work for the community in terms of all the data gathering immediately straight after all these events. As soon as we finish up all of our Ultimate Cups, our regionals, especially for online events, this guy has got every piece of data done already. So huge shout out to him. Also, just such a fun person to have versed one of my opponents during this entire Ultimate Cup, and just had a great time chatting to him and having a blast versing one another. That was good fun. So enough glazing. Basically, we had 3 Ancient Greys in the top 16, 2 Mirages, 1 Imperial Dramon, 1 Take, 2 Villamor, 1 Lordknight, 1 Emperor Grey, which I'm not sure just yet because I haven't actually looked at the list, whether or not that's the, with the red, green, all of that, ways to get into the newest version of Emperor Grey, but we'll talk about it when we see it. And 5 purple hybrids, which is kind of surprising, but good on them. The deck seems super competent at the moment. So, okay, so normally we use the DCGO program to be able to look at all the cards individually. It usually looks really nice, but today, because DCGO hasn't released Special Booster 2.0's update, we're going to use Eggman Events instead, which, again, if you ain't watched it, go to Eggman Events. They do a really good job of covering these events as well, so there's my shout out for that. The only problem I have with this is that I can't give a deck name to this deck, so I can't tell you that this is first place Jordan Wheatley. Congratulations for playing Takemi Kazuchi, a deck that is extremely combo heavy. It is extremely good at what it does, and yeah, let's kind of go over a little bit of the card by card here. Again, congratulations Jordan Wheatley, fantastic job on coming first at an Ultimate Cup out of I believe it was 93 players, so just below 100, which is awesome. So many players. So starting off, we got the 4 of the newest Balmon. This is the one that, when you trash something, you're digivolving into that a lot of the time. 4 Luga, 3 of the Lugamon. Not really surprising. You have a really light rookie lineup and Ugomons, because this entire deck's central focus is to combo off as fast as possible, do your 5 checks, kill your opponent. It has really good ways to play for board, but as soon as you're able to find that combo, you are almost always just going all the way in. Tyrannomon is here to also search, gives you a blocker, gives you a little bit more time. Darugamon and Dexdorogoramon, not Dexdoragora, Darugamon and Dexdor. It's so hard not to say Dexdorogoramon. It's just Dexdaruga. Both here. Doragora is great for, taunting your opponents, making, and blocking into them, digivolving into the Dexdor, and also being able to trash one to draw one, more combos, searching. Skolbalucci here is a card that initially I didn't understand when I first saw it in Takemi Kazuchi, but I think this is really, really cool because you don't have to essentially, pitch something from your hand to digivolve into it. As long as you pitch this from your hand, you're able to digivolve into anything in your trash for its digivolution cost. So it circumvents the Balmon sometimes in a certain way, which is really cool. If you just, find yourself not without a level 4, for example, you just pitch this and then digivolve into a level 4 from in your trash. It kind of shores that up. Usually I feel like I see people with 2 of these, but I'm sure it's a niche scenario where it actually gets to go off. 2 of the Haluga, you are needing something to delete Digimon and also draw, get your combo together. Soluga, this card alone makes this deck insanely crazy for the fact that you're able to trash something, pop something, or play something out, if I remember right. Yeah, pop something or play something out, and then you're just going straight into your Fenriluga because you trash 2 more cards, and a lot of the time by the time that you're at this Digimon, you're, maybe you've drawn your Kazuchi, and you've got Fenriluga in hand, you pitch both of them, and you're just able to, skyrocket into the next Evo line. Paying the extra 3, you've given your opponent like 11 memory at this point, but like whatever, because as soon as you pitch this, and then your Fenriluga plays it out, you're able to go into Kazuchi, plays out the Kazuchi, and then you will instantly ish DNA into the Fenriluga, pulling all that memory all the way back to, I think it's 3, if not 4, and then one of these 2 boys gives you 1 more memory. I'm not the biggest aficionado on this deck, because it has very, very insane lines and very, very strong, combo. Probably one of the most difficult combo decks at the moment, but one of the most rewarding, I would say. But it's just, once you get to this point, Takumi Kazuchi is here to essentially just swing, trash 1, unsuspend using the Solugamon, swing again, trashing another one, and if they're at 4, you're hitting 4, you can hit 4 checks, you can alliance to do 2 on one of those with the effects of the AGs here, so yeah. I guess the only thing that surprises me in this deck list in particular is that it looks really light on the AGs for a deck that absolutely necessarily needs AGs, but we have so many digging tools that I guess I'm not surprised at this point. But congratulations for your win, Jordan Wheatley. This is a fantastic deck list, and I don't think we're going to see Take going anywhere soon, but I'm also surprised that not many people complain about this deck as much as something like Mirage, considering that it's just doing the same thing a little bit differently. I guess the only difference is you're not asking people how many cards in hand every 30 seconds, you're just doing your own combo. I will say the other thing about this deck is that from watching other people on some live streams, for regionals, I was watching Risu's one, some people get really lost in the sauce on this deck. They get a little bit too honed in on doing their Take combo when you can just do 4 checks without even having to go into your level 6. There's a lot of ways that you can play this, but some people get really tunneled into the way that they play this because it looks like there's one way to play this, but there's many, many, many ways to, schmooze around on it. But let's move on to the next one. Congratulations again, Jordan Wheatley. Awesome job. All right, in second place, we've got Marcus Villamor's Mirage Galgamon. Now, I'm going to keep this one a bit brief. I think that a lot of the cards now that people are running in this deck are pretty interesting to see. The only caveat to that is that we have seen Mirage for a long time now. It's been 1.5 years. I know a lot of people are calling for its ban, and I will probably echo that because it's a very, very strong card, but it's a strong card that people are going to play. And if you don't expect to play this at a tournament, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. So again, congratulations. Second place is phenomenal. He gets the burst mode of the AncientGreymon, which is really cool. So let's really quickly go through the list. One of the fastest standouts when I was versing, I think it was Litzao Chen. We saw Bukomon as the egg, which I never thought people would come back to this, but with essentially what this card does is you play a Digimon from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain a memory. Great. We are doing that with Huankun, so 2 cost essentially to go into your level 3. You're able to, this deck doesn't need jamming on its egg anymore, so because we got jamming on the level 4. Actually, I'm not seeing as much jamming, but most of the time this always has jamming, I feel like. But yeah, Marcus Villamor, you're looking like a hater right now with the amount of floodgates that you're running. 3 Siakos don't reduce your Digivolution cost. 3 memory blockers for the other Mirage players, I imagine, and we've got a Galaxy Mirage that is a predominant deck at the moment. Lordknight X is also, gains so much memory, you might as well be, blocking those out. I know I ran a couple memory floodgates myself. And then can't reduce play costs as well for, I assume, maybe walking into, what's it called, Digicross decks or Death X. And then we got the last rookie is the best rookie, makes you play both draw a card, just make your opponent draw that card for the Mirage Gal. And then the best Galgamon, very good Galgamon to bounce your opponent's floodgates. Zudamon is here to, if you're sitting on your level 4, he's just there to clutch that out. Running this instead of the Mac Galgamon is really interesting because it doesn't have the same requirement that the Mac Gal uses. It just says this Digimon's attack targets can't change, so I think that's really cool. It's just a slightly power crept version of the other Mac Gal. One of the best Mac Gal, 4 of Huan-Kun. This card is able to facilitate such insane plays with this deck now. Being able to play out another Digimon and then just make 2 Mirages. Come on, dog. It's crazy what this card does. Mirage Gal, nobody needs a primer on what that does. 2 Hexablow is kind of standard, considering this is essentially a bit of a defensive option for the deck, but also, you know, with the Huan-Kun playing out a Digimon, if you're keeping turn with your Hexablow, you're just doing 4 checks next turn anyway. Hella memory boost, hella trainings. Only 2 and 2 of the Thomas H. Norstein was really surprising to me, considering that most lists I had always seen 3 and 3, but I guess, you know, burst mode is not your only play anymore. You can do a lot of other things with this deck and just shock your opponent. Again, super quick list with this one. If I got anything wrong, please let me know, because this list was a bit weird on the BCP app. I couldn't just, you know, import it. I had to one by one manually put each card in, and they were all in different like rarities. It was how it was wrote, so I just had to do that one by one. So if anything's weird, let me know. Let's just move on to the next one. Congratulations, Marcus. Seeing you again here, because I remember you came champion last, if not the one before that, at my last top 8. But yeah, good job. In 3rd place, we have Gary. I think it's Iasorella. If it's Iasorella, then let me know. It's the what do you call it? The BCP. I can't tell whether or not it's an L or an I, but I'm gonna go with Iasorella. Congratulations on 3rd place. This is Leviamon. This deck is a very strong control deck. It is a very strong aggro deck once you get started. I love Leviamon so much, so I'm very glad to see it come 3rd. Let's talk really quickly about the deck. 1 of the Gabu X, you need to see your Protoforms. 1 of the Goblimon is the best card here. 1 of the Gizamon, you just gain another memory if you get into your Levia down here. 1 of the Lotmon X, trash a card, plus 3 KDP. This really helps you to just swing massive amounts of damage with your opponent into your opponent's security. When you're doing like Levia X, it becomes 17k. Gabumon, a little bit of an interesting one to see put here, but you know, draw 1, trash 1 on the when attacking is awesome. Gain a memory when you walk out of raising, great. 1 and 2 of the Floodgates, with okay, only 1 of those. 2 of the Octomon. This was a good card, but I always wanted to cut Octomon for the most part, because finding the situations where personally I, you know, had a way to use its effect effectively. I just had a hard time, but the Inheritable is still like awesome. Double X is the best level 4 of the lineup. 2 of the Garuru is really interesting to see, considering like I understand that you're running it here for the Garu X, but yeah, like you'll have to tell me how this you know, shaped up for you, considering that like if it's there for the security effect, like yeah, you get to play out your Gabumon, 1 of these 2 to, you know, get the Protoform search off of the Gabu X. But like when Digivolving draw 1, trash 1 is, you know, obviously more of Double X here. But personally, I probably just would have run like 2 more Deltamons with the amount of Gazis and all the other stuff running around, but I didn't come 3rd, so I can't dash you for that. It's interesting, because I assume like it's really good when you can just go like 1 of your Garurus and then go straight into your Garu X and just turbo through your deck. Like, totally understand that if that is the case, because this is just gaining you a memory, so it would essentially become a 1 cost to Digivolve. And I guess with the amount of like Gabus and Garus you're running, you're able to protect your stack with the you know, the inheritable effect here. Interesting. Drago is great. He facilitates your Levia X plays, and Cerberus X is the craziest level 5 when attacking unsuspend. You know, pop something, unsuspend this Digimon, more draw trash, you're playing out a level 3. Awesome. 1 of Anubis, you're going to find it every game once you hit the mid game, especially with the amount of like cards you're drawing through this. Levia X, these cards are disgustingly good. I love them still. 2 and 4, totally understand. Levia X is kind of more so the boss of the deck, and running 4 Protoforms allows you to almost always get the effect off when you're just hard Digivolving into it. 2 7th Lightning, 2 Binding Crush, great. Little less on the Purple Memory Boost and the Wisdom Training, but I totally understand. Once you get past the early game, these just fill up your hand and it becomes really annoying. So yeah, I think this list is pretty darn solid. I can't dosh anything. The only thing I am a little bit confused about is the Garu, but I'm not detracting from it being here. I think it didn't make sense when you want to run Garu X as well. And same with Gabumon and that. It's just interesting. It's cool. Congratulations to Gary Iasorella for your 3rd place. Let's move on to the next deck profile. All right, moving on to 4th place, and we have... It's me! 4th place, Dane Strauf. That's me, brother. All right, this is my deck list. Basically, to put it in perspective, I have to tell you immediately, this shit is in a bit of shambles with its ratios, considering that, to preface this deck profile, when I woke up in the morning to get ready to actually play at the Ultimate Cup, I had decided to stream it as well, and I was trying to get some streaming stuff together. Little did I realize that the daylight savings would fuck me, because I thought the event was going to start at 10. Turns out it started at 9 o'clock in the morning. 8:55 I realized this. I did my best to, submit my deck list and register for the event, but I was unsuccessful due to a 403 error as I was hitting, submit. And I just had to message the event organizers and be like, please help me! And then eventually they got me in with a game loss to start with, and then I played against my opponent and won 2-1 technically because I took a first game loss. Leading me into the next a loss afterwards, and then just a streak to end all of the rest of the games. But yeah, so I played Red Hybrid with the AncientGreymon looping deck. I've already talked about this on the channel, so I won't talk heaps about it, but I really enjoyed playing this. And again, the list is scuffed because I had done a quick consistency change the night before to give that a shot, only to find out after getting my ass kicked that I didn't like it, and because I didn't have the time to fix up my deck before the event, I was running some weird stuff just so that I could actually play. So you'll see a little bit of weird ratios, and let's just get straight into it. 2 of the Yukomon, again, you either run 4 or you run none, and unfortunately I was running 2 because I had to take 1 out and to fill a different spot, but that spot ended up, I would have gone to 0 and added the Atomic Infernos. I just couldn't find them while I was, doing my best to get to actually play. 4 of the Flamemon, this one is the best. 2 of the Shamanmon, this card absolutely carried me. There was one game where I was versing, it was the game I was talking about with Li Chan, where on my last turn, where I should have killed him already, I ended up passing by just playing the Shamanmon. He had 2 boosts out, and I was playing the Mirage Gal. He would have been able to, just absolutely go crazy on my deck, if not for the Shamanmon, solely for the fact that, he didn't have the Galgamon that bounces a level 3, and so at 1, he was just doing nothing, and then the game was just over. Great. That is, yeah. This card saved me a few times. I didn't play any Lordknight X's, but this did help in some of the matchups. It's crazy how much we need memory floodgates now, and I would probably be running 3 soon. 3 of the worst Flamemon, but still great for the inheritable effect. This guy came in clutch. I really liked being able to recycle my resources, as we've talked about in the other deck profile. Agunimon. This deck is so awesome for being able to just walk up, Digivolve and Raising with your promo Agunimon, for 2, pass to your opponent, and then they think they're at most going to be, hit for 3 checks. They know what's coming. They've prepared a little bit for it, and then you're digivolving into your Burning Grave for 1, swinging, digivolving into Agunimon, and then Agunimon triggers to digivolve into this here Ancient Grey, and this Ancient Grey now has 4 hybrid sources underneath it, and you're doing 5 checks, and then on turn 2, and just staring at your opponent. And that costs you 2 to get into it on your turn. And then you're just staring at your opponent and saying, what are you up to? What are you doing? Can you stop me? Can you win next turn? This card is nuts. But you'll notice that I'm only running 2 of it versus the 4 of that. Once you saw this and did that combo 1 time, You're rarely actually using this again because it starts to clog up the hand. Personally, I've seen other lists running 4 and 4, but I liked 4 and 2 because this is just better for like playing for the board, playing for the game. But this guy just, that turn 2 walk out, or turn 3, whatever it is, smash over your opponent for as many checks as possible, really opens the game up and puts the pressure on. 1 Gigas, 1 Alder. The 1 Alder is totally fine, but the 1 Gigas, honestly, I wish I had 2 towards the like middle of the set of games, because there was one game where I could have just killed him in that turn if I just had found a Gigas, or if I had one in my hand was another one, because I pitched it with the analog instead of, you know, just holding onto it. But this card is way better than I thought, and obviously I realized midway through, because another hybrid player I realized from watching another hybrid player that this guy just plays out a level 4 or lower hybrid. So when you play this guy out, on play, give him rush, swing for game. This deck does so much damage so quickly. Blitz Omni for game. Gravity Crush was awesome. Gravity Crush is there to essentially just end the game. Like, sometimes it was great for, you know, your opponent has a memory setup and you're there to, you know you can put them to 1 and gain way more advantage through, like, playing Tamers or just, you know, extending and then, you know, go to 1, lose 2, then they memory set. But, yeah, this card is great for game ending as well, in a sense. You just need 2 memories sometimes. 1 Atomic Inferno, I wish I had 2, but at the same time, like, it ended up being fine that I only had 1. The problem was just that I ended up, you know, bottom decking it over and over again with all these searches because I couldn't grab it. So it would have been nice to, you know, just be able to use it once or twice just to put that extra pressure on, or use the effects of my Tamers, like the Inheritables, without having to warp to the Ancient Greys. Because these guys need 10k, and neither of these 2 guys alone, or even if you like raid and digivolve an Aguni but not go into Ancient Grey, you can't break that 10k threshold. Yeah, and this is also good for like if you verse, you know, the Magna matchup, because you want to be able to like just, you know, give me 3 memory or I'm gonna do a couple checks. But one of the games that I played, the security effect came up super hardcore because they hit it first check, and I've got like Ukomon and a Flamon on board, and I'm like, ooh boy! And Ukomon, for God knows what reason, always lives. So you swing, he does 2 checks because all of your Digimon gain set +1. It's not just hybrids, it's not just anything else. It is all of your Digimon. So Uko cracking out the 2 checks, Flamon cracking out the 2 checks because he somehow lived on the first one. And then, yeah, you're just like hybrid 2 times for game. Deity is awesome. Analog Youth is fantastic for this deck. It helps you to really manipulate your memory. You don't always have to, you know, end your turn, or like reel your turn back so you can further play. I was often just, you know, proccing 1 so that I would put my opponent to 1 instead of, you know, overdoing it and giving them 3 memory. Takia is awesome. I love this card at 3, and 1 of this guy was great because by the time you're playing it out, you have 5 in the trash, and then you just have billions of DP and billions of these little dudes that say play a Takia, so you just recycle straight away. Louis, great for game. And also these 2 Takias as well. This guy is kind of falling out of favor. I think he's still good as a one-off because we need more, you know, Takia names. We only have 8 here out of 13 Tamers, but this Takia is the GOAT at the moment. I might even bump it to 4 because sometimes when I wasn't seeing it, I was like, please, I need it. So that's my list. I came 4th, and congratulations to me. So thank you everybody who watched my stream the whole time. I really enjoyed interacting with people. And in the deck check, I didn't fuck up. I did in fact have all the cards that I said I did. So that was awesome. Let's move on to the next person. Thank you. 5th place, we have Dylan Tran, another Leviamon, Levia X. So my apologies that you're not going to get the same level of scrutiny that the 3rd place player got from each card, but I will go over some of the ones that weren't in here. Basically, you know, it's 3 Dobamon and 2 Delta. The Dobamon is one of my favorite cards to have in the deck because you're giving something massive blocker, and also you know, it's a target for if you somehow don't have your protoforms, which is, you know, possible with 3. And Delta, I really like. I was running 3 Deltas in the list that I was running for the Lordknight, just so that you can just pop these Gazis that hang around because they piss me off. But I also understand only running 2 when your rookie lineup doesn't have 4 Gazis in it. One of the Labra is there to, re-grab that Anubis back once we've done it. One of the Cerberus is there to do the exact same thing. 3 and 3 on the Drago Cerberus X is interesting because this guy is great, but it has to, you have to have gone Protoform into Doba before you go into your Drago. So, facilitating that combo was always just a little bit difficult. And it's a little interesting too that, if we're running Lordknight X, we have piercing already, but just thoughts, I guess. 2 of the Lordknight X in this deck in particular, so it runs a little closer to Lordknight, but we're running the big 3, so it's a little, it's still Levia X, and Lordknight X puts in work. 3 of the Levia X, main boss monster for the most part, and yeah, 2 and 2 on the Biting Crush and 7th Lightning. Great list, fantastic work, Dylan Tran. Congratulations. 6th place, we have Dat Nguyen. This is a Purple Hybrid Mother Reaper Beelstar list. So this is really fucking cool. I thought we'd see more of these because people will do anything to put Beelstar into their deck. And I saw a few of these when the Purple Hybrid list, got revealed on the Project Jasil. People were running a lot of this just to try it out, but I haven't seen anybody play it yet, except for, I think, exactly one of my friends. Curse upon him, Curse of Ra. But basically, to put it lightly, Mother Digi Reaper is the egg. Shoto here is there to make Mother into a blocker. Then you have the Purple Hybrid lineup of 4, 1, 4 Duskmon, and 4 Velga. Most people are running 4 Velga at this point because I know that you can get away with 3, but if you don't see it the entire game, you're going to want to shoot yourself. But the problem with running 4 instead of 3 is that, it's not a problem, but once you run 4, once you get one of them into your trash after, pitching it or something like that, you never need another one. You have one that you can just constantly circulate through, and it will be exactly this guy. And then we got 1 of the Jet Sylphie. This can go over either of these guys. 4 of your Beelstar. This is the card that essentially says, for each 3 Musketeers or, with a memory cost of 7 option card that's in your trash, you reduce its play cost by 1. And then when you play it, you're returning an option card, with 7 cost, and then you're playing it, and then you can use any option card that you return or not. But the interesting part is that you have to have a colored source of that card to use. So if you take back a Shine of B, but you don't have a Shoto on field, you can't use the Shine of B, yada yada. This is a very old card. It's pretty fair, I would say, because your entire game plan here is to mill as much as possible into your trash, get as many of these 7-cost options into the trash, and then you're just hard playing your Beelstar for as little as possible. And when you hard play your Beelstar, you're sniping things on the board and, just generally killing your opponent's stack over and over in a kind of pseudo security control way. This is very, very control heavy, but once your Beelstars hit the board, you start to ramp up that damage. All of these guys can do checks independently of themselves. 1 of the Ruin Mode, 1 of the Death X, again, super control. Goal there is to grab back Beelstars, miss to just to mill more. 1 of the Geralt, 3 of your Shinobi. Only 1, oh, okay, that's right, because we're using the Rival's Barrage more so than when we will use the Fly Bullet here. 3 of the Heaven's Judgment. We have so many yellow sources that we're able to do that now. Koichi are the targets that you're digivolving over, and this one is here to also help you facilitate your draw and trash, because it is a 3 Musketeers card. You can just trash an option card and draw 1. So I think this list is really cool. I'm keen to do it, or to actually play it, because I feel like it's one of those decks that your opponent's going to hate you for playing, but also it's really, really fun to play. But yeah, congratulations, Dat Nguyen. This is a really cool list. I'm glad I didn't see you in the games, but at the same time, Mother D Reaper doesn't, Ancient does not care about Mother D Reaper. You're able to just raid over them, and then you only have to deal with 4. The only problem I feel like I'd have with this deck is just running into options over and over again in security. But I know that from experience, if you're playing Beelstar, your options are never in security. It just sucks, and that's the negative confirmation bias that we need. Anyway, moving on. Congratulations. on 6th place. That's awesome. Now we got 7th place, Jeffrey Yang's also purple hybrid. I will say this one's really interesting to me for the fact that you have so many one-ofs, so many weird ratios, and I really like that because you know that at some point you're probably going to see all of these cards. But starting immediately, you have 2 Cupimon and Demimera is at 3. So like, it's funny, and I like that because you do need Cupimon to further extend your plays in Purple Hybrid, but you also want to be drawing and trashing with your Demimera. Pick one, but like whatever, it's cool. I like that. 4 and 4 of the Uko and the Gazi, again, memory blocking, searching heaps, 2 of the Bokomon. I think you're the only person I've seen for the most part who's run Bokomon in Purple Hybrid because most people just expect that they're going to get a billion memory out of all this stuff anyway, but I totally understand a, you know, massive searcher in this deck. 1 Psych, we don't want Death Exit in the board. 1 Uko, 2 Ignite, because I saw that you have Mervamon at down here. I'm surprised you're not running 3, but I understand that considering you only have 2 Mervamon as well. 1 Deltamon, 1 Kaiser Leo, 4 and 4 of your Dusk and Velga. Again, these are the, you know, absolute most necessary cards you have because you're just going to be wanting to see these and then just loop them over and over again. 1 of the Rihi, because I imagine you're just trying to swing, pop, and like die, and then, you know, go AG or like play out any one of these tamers. 1 of the Argomon. This was a tech we saw come out of Japan that is essentially, if you know you're going to be versing a lot of other hybrids, this will stun down those hybrids. You know, they can't unsuspend, and it, you know, digivolves for usually like 1 or 2 because you're reducing the cost for each hybrid, what do you call it, the tamer that you're, you know, suspending by its effect. And also when it dies, doesn't matter in this scenario, it's inheritable, doesn't matter in this scenario. You're essentially putting this as a floodgate for hybrids on the board. So yeah, just a really cool tech that I like to see a lot. I don't personally think it'd affect me on Ancient Grey, and that's my only like point of reference, is I could just Digivolve. I don't have to swing that turn, I can just pop it. But also, you know, it does present a problem that if I can't just pop it with the Ancient Grey, then I have to swing over it, which I can't. So it is a good enough floodgate that will probably sit there for at least like 1 or 2 turns. Cool. 4 Jack Raid, 2 Merva. One of my mates was running the 4 Jack Raid. I think he's at like 3 or 4 of the Mervamon, because this deck, again, just Giga Milling yourself over and over again, and then just procking like 4 of your Jack Raids, getting a buttload of memory, and then just going Merva, Digivolve into this, play out this guy, mill some more. This guy will be able to swing, you know, play out your other Ignite, and you can swing a lot of damage there. Little options here to also help you to mill, help you to grab back cards when you have milled. And the cool thing about like running the suite of Rivals Barrage and Jack Raid and Deathclaw as well is that you're able to create many more security bombs for your opponent to deal with. Like this is just Hammer Spark in a sense for you know, like this is a card that has somehow escaped the ban list as well, because I guess you have to have 10 cards in your trash. That's not hard to do for especially this deck, but also security gain 2 memory. You just shark your opponent of their turn a lot of the time because most people are swinging and doing their damage once they get to 0 memory. So they're just going to lose their turn unless if they choose to swing immediately and then change their game plan from there. 1 AG, star gains 1, gives you Alliance. For your Koichi, 3 of your Marishita. Again, you're milling so much, you'll need to grab something back from the trash. 1 Louis, 2 of the newest Koichi is interesting. But this is a really good list. And I really like how this one is shaping up to be. Congratulations on 7th, Jeffrey. Fantastic job. I love this list. Will Dawson, clearing 8th. Again, making top 8 with Purple Hybrid this time. If you remember, we had Will Dawson as first place on Leviamon in the last regionals that I covered. That was before Special Booster 2.0. I'm glad to see that you have moved on to better things, I guess is the best way to put it. An interesting, you know, we love to play a new deck, so might as well, right? And Purple Hybrid is a fantastic one to start with. So we're going to go a little more quickly over this one because you've drawn the short end of the stick. You are the second Purple Hybrid player in this list. but we'll go over the cards that we didn't bring up in the last players list. So one of the Guilmon, I really like this. I was thinking about this when I was playing Purple Hybrid myself, because you can play it off of your Merva and then it just has Rush inherently. Awesome. And then the two of the Gabumon, you just want more memory a lot of the time. 2 of the Ignite, great. 4 and 4 of your Dusk and Velga. 1 of the Kaiser Leo. 1 of the Merva, which is interesting, and 1 of the Mastermon. So this Master is a little bit interesting. This Master is like kind of curious. I see the vision here with trash 1 card from the top player, both players security, and then player yellow or bar. You're essentially would be able to get like 2 checks off this, right? Like you're trashing your opponent's security. You're playing this little dude out. You're swinging, and then if you're keeping turn, which by also being able to swing with this, you would have had to have kept turn. Then you're just going to swing with your Master. A lot of the time, that's 3 checks. That's nothing to scoff at. 4 of the Jackraid. Again, this is a Hammer Spark that is not limited. Deathclaw Calling, Ancient Deity. This is like, I'm also just surprised that not many people are running this in Purple Hybrid as well. You get to grab back a hybrid that you may need, even if it's, I know that the Koichi grabs back when attacking a hybrid or 10 warriors, but like sometimes you just don't have that one on the field, especially when you're only running 3. Sometimes you just won't see it. And then you just get to play out, a Tamer for like, free. So I just think this is a really cool card, especially when it hits in security. Your life just gets really nice, because now you get to do that effect essentially twice. 4 of the Mist Memory Boost, 2 of the Purple Memory Boost, 2 of the Rivals Barrage, and the rest is easy peasy. No AGs, not a surprise, but this is still a really good list. And yeah, congratulations on 8th Will. Great stuff. Keep up the good work. I'll see you in the next top 8. And then completely lastly, we're just going to go over the greater sort of overall, like everybody in the top 32, everybody who are the other 93 players. So top 32 breakdown, we had Atake, 3 of them, 7 Mirage, 2 Levia, Ancient Grey was at like 6, 7 Purple Hybrids, an Imperial. Only 1 Imperial in the top 32 is kind of crazy to me. Lordknight X at 2, which is kind of crazy. I guess people didn't really care to play that deck, but also you see, like, as you scroll down a bit, it's, the whole people, there were 10, so only 2 of them were able to convert. So, like, yeah, I take with that what you will. I guess it's it just isn't as good as something like Leviamon, for example. But actually, we kind of had the same thing with Leviamon, right? Whole tournament, only 2 Leviamon players, and both of them converted to top 32. Fuck yeah. And yeah, 5 Take with only 3 of them converting. What do we got here? Ancient Grey, 10 overall, 6 of them converting. Purple Hybrid had 16 with only 7 converting. I think Purple Hybrid doesn't really surprise me there, because it is a difficult deck to pilot. What else have we got here? Red Hybrid, the 1 Red Hybrid player converted. The 1 Rapid X player made it to top 32 as well. Good on him. We got Ancient Garu with 2 players. How many do we have overall? 3. Pretty good. All the other decks that didn't convert were like Dextoru, Machinedramon, Omnimon, which is surprising because that deck has been able to like pop up, top 8 a lot of the time. At least one of them clear. D-Reaper. I'm surprised people are playing D-Reaper. Maybe the fake Jerry must have given it enough consistency that people wanted to play it again. Lucamon at 7. Unfortunately, I think like Lucamon is a really fun deck to play, and I really like it, and especially if you like Lucamon as a Digimon. The unfortunate part about it is that it is a little bit slow to get started. Once you get started, it's really easy for it to like roll over your opponents, but you're versing like Ancient Grey. Like I was playing against Nick, and like he was on Lucamon, and yeah, I was like walking out and doing 5 checks, and 2 of those first checks are like Cruise and I think it was like Lava, and because they're the first 2 checks, it does nothing for him. That was really sad to see. But I think the deck is a lot of fun. It just it might just need like a bit of tweaking, maybe, but it is a little bit slow at the moment. Magnamon, wow, only 2, and they didn't even convert to top 32. Thank God for me personally, because that is the hardest counter to Ancient Garu. When I played against Alan Koo in the, like as I was, I think on my last game, I expected him to be playing Magna because he's topped 2 times with it, and I was shitting bricks knowing that I might have been about to lose, but he was on Ancient Grey as well, so I had a shot. And I won. And then we got like Dark Knight, 2 players playing it. I would like Dark Knight to be a bit better as well. The new pieces are great for it. I think we just need to see like a good list come out of it. But it is very slow compared to so many of these other decks. Millenniumon, great to see other people playing it. Like the reason that I bring up a lot of these decks too is like, I just want to show people that there are people out there playing these other decks. It's not just Mirage, it's not just Ancient Grey, it's not just Lordknight and Levia. It's like there's so many decks you can play at the moment. Myotis, I'm really happy to see. That's going to be something I'm going to be building soon. I've heard tale of people talking about using the Dark Animal engine for Myotis, which, you know, shameless to do it, but at the same time, anything to be able to play Myotis, dude. The deck is not good. Then we have, what is it? Zephyr, Master, Blue Hybrid. Blue Hybrid, I imagine, would have just been like a lot of the, you know, all the blue and red stuff, plus maybe like more Tommies, more of like Balukamon, I think, and whatnot. And like Hexablow at the top end. Central, good on you for playing like Zephyr and Central. Musketeers, we talked about already. Royal Knights, I don't want to say die, but I just don't like Royal Knights. For the same reason that I don't like 7 Great Demon Lords. It feels like 7 Great like security control, so you end up just being like, dude, I don't know what's about to come from your hand and one tap me for nothing. It's so tiresome for me personally. That's just my opinion. Don't come for me. And like the brother says, hybrids everywhere. This is a bit of a hybrid meta. It's a fun frontiers set, so like everybody's going to be seeing heaps of hybrids. I understand that hybrids can be really uninteractive, and you know, you're kind of just doing something, deleting yourself and going back to being just tamers. I'm surprised that there weren't more deck story players, and I'm surprised also that those deck story players didn't clear top 32. But yeah, this is a really cool spread. A lot of different decks being played. That's kind of the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching the stream if you tuned into that to watch my run. Hopefully, maybe, I doubt it, I might make a, you know, clips of all the games that I played. It's just going to be me doing 5 checks at a time. But it was a lot of fun to do it. And the only thing that's stopping me is the thought of scrubbing through like 5 to 7 hours worth of footage. Oh, that's a lot. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I hope you gained some sort of insight out of it. And thanks for supporting me. If you enjoyed watching the video, like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.